could see all the way that gravitates on me. And I looked up at the sky, saw the sun, and the way that gravity moves on everyone.
All right, guys, what is going on? What's Gucci gang? What's Gucci gang? It is Friday, end of the month too. Wow, Last full week of the month anyway. It is Friday, July 28th, 2023. This is our last session of the week. And hopefully you had some fun this week. Hopefully you didn't get your face ripped off. Not sure. Not sure. But if you guys are here, let me know by dropping a like on the video. You don't have to wait for me to tell you. Okay? You don't gotta wait. You don't gotta wait. What's good, Naruto, Willow, Trillionaire, Leon, Katarina, Sean, Jordan, Hamza, and Charlie? What up? The Quit Being a Slave video was fire. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I actually continued and expanded on that idea, but that will probably be saved for my next book, to be honest. And I started working on my next video as well, which I'm pretty sure is going to be on tranquility, so that'll be cool. But yeah, Quit Being a Slave. It's one of my favorite ideas from the last year or two. Not my idea, got it from Ryan Holiday, but it's, you know, Stoic philosophy. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, I forgot her name. I think it was Leia. Anyway, she was like, "Oh, you should make that story into a reel." The one I talked about yesterday about the fences. I was like, "Oh, you're right." So I ended up making that, or I turned that into a reel today. And I put that on Instagram. It's too long for YouTube, but I did put it out on Lay Instagram. Which is pretty cool. And I gotta fix one thing too as well. I gotta remove it from the profile grid so it doesn't fuck everything up. It was good 2020. Oh, Trillionaire, he said you got your face ripped off this week. What happened? What happened? For those of you that are in the Discord, this was pretty solid today. Right there. Right there. Imbalance. Mitigation. Right? Low, high, lower, low. We have some lows right here. An imbalance right here. So smart money efficiency there. Rallies. Low resistant highs. At least on the Oanda side. The futures are different, but imbalance, mitigation takes off right up to the highs. Now, I would like it to continue. Doesn't have to, but I would like it to continue. But y'all already know I don't tell the market what to do. So we'll have to see how it goes. Personally, I think gold was probably the better long. But hey, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. Hopefully you learn. All index got their fair share off me this week with all the volatility. Timing was wrong on everything. Well, fuck, man. We'll take a look. So we'll come back to the Nasdaq here for just a minute. So right now I am slightly, I don't know what the right word is. Conflicted maybe, because if we start on the daily, which is usually what we're supposed to do. Okay, check this out. Wednesday, the 19th, and Thursday, the 20th. So that was last week. On the daily time frame, there's this gap here. Okay. right here. So those two price points, I think, that could be interesting for today. Now, the problem is with where price is at right now, it looks like it could get there. But right now, here in the afternoon, it looks like if it's going to slide lower, then it might go ahead and take these lows. So I'm basically saying I don't want to long because we have lows, and I don't want to short because we have that daily gap here. And this is where I can easily take a loss, okay? Because we like lows, we like equal lows, right? Those are usually good magnets for price. But if the higher time frame is potentially bullish, then we could say, all right, well, we'll short an imbalance, and then it fucking rips through that and then trades up to that gap. So then you take a loss, and then it breaks down, retraces, and then goes for the lows. So now it's like, well, you were right, but you just missed the timing aspect. Or vice versa. We'll go, oh yeah, we'll just long this retracement up to the gap, and then it says whoops and goes for the lows for trailing stops. You know what I'm like? So that to me is why where we are right now, it's hard for me to say where it's going to go next. Is it going to go up to the gap or down to the lows? Plus, if we look at our percentages for today, the Nasdaq has rallied more so than the other indices. So if the triple Qs is our leader today, we probably don't want to be shorting that one. I mean, you could still find a good setup, of course, but it's usually not ideal. Now, the other indices like the S&P doesn't really have those same lows. We actually had a stop run on ES there. And the Dow is, what the fuck is this? So with the Dow is definitely hard to say about anything in there. So, this week definitely was very, very interesting. And I can definitely understand why things did not pan out the way you wanted them to. I'm not always, super, super accurate every day. I mean, you saw me on Wednesday, right? The Fed funds rate, I had got it wrong on gold. That was the first time, we've been wrong in a while. But again, still got it wrong. I mean, two out of three is not bad, but still, it's like, there's always going to be this lingering room for error, margin of error, or misinterpretation. Did you partake in yesterday's Slaughterfest? No. No. Well, other than the stocks that I already have, I did exit my long on Dow today, though. I've been long for the last, I don't know how long. It's been a minute. Because we were targeting these triple highs. So I was getting in somewhere in here. It wasn't even this ETF. I think it was DIA or some shit. I don't know. It was different. And so I finally have exited that position today. And that's only because we are above April's high. April of last year. We're above that high for this week. You see what I'm saying? So I exited that position from wherever it was in here. Still have... We can look at JP Morgan, actually. Still have some JP Morgan running, aiming for the 160s, probably mid to higher 160s. That would be great. Still in from the 133. So that's definitely nice. Wells Fargo, I'm not in anymore either, but that has hit some long-term targets as well. And I think that's really about it. At least, like, as far as what I have that's worth mentioning. Okay. But yeah, I think that's what my focus is going to be on today, is the Nasdaq. So we will have to see what happens. And then I am probably, well, I can tell you today's going to be definitely a short stream because I have to hop off in about 45 minutes. So I have a lunch to go to. And, you know, pretty much celebrate a good month. It's been a good month. So we got all-time highs pretty much for everything, you know, views, subs, memberships, trading, I mean, you name it, and we're up. So stocks counts up as well. That's always nice. So we celebrated 150 members. I think that was last weekend, but I miscalculated. I should have waited for this weekend. Because what I did is I looked at total members, that I didn't look at the active members. So that's where I fucked up. It was 150 total, but it was only like 145 that were active. So I actually celebrated a bit too early. Sorry. I didn't mean to. But now we are at 150. I got too excited. I misread the numbers because it gives me total and it gives me active. Thanks, Nikki. And you were right about the dollar as well. I put that in my market review yesterday about the dollar and that monthly candle close for this month. So big props to you for that. But stuff like that, I don't try to do. Like, because we were in the middle of the month when you mentioned that, and like me, I didn't think that would be the low for the dollar. I mean, it ended up being the low, but I wasn't trying to say that this was going to be or not. Like, I just left it alone. But whatever. One thing I would also pay attention to for today is the highs. High, lower high, lower high. High, lower high, lower high. I mean, so we're pretty much in alignment there. But that's not usually what you want to see at a market top or market bottom either. Like this here, it just doesn't convince me that we have made a high today. Now, if we trade higher into this gap and the other indices don't follow suit, that would be convincing for me that that's just manipulation or like repricing, and then it would probably trade lower is what I would be probably anticipating. But here's the thing too, man. It's Friday. It's pretty much the end of the month. I think it's just better to not trade today, to not fuck it up. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to close the month out with a loss today, you know? Like I don't want to do that. So I'd rather just chill and just wait. Franco met me in person in Miami. Oh, that's right. I remember Miami. I was like, wait a minute, I've never been there. I was there for like 3 days. And it was thunderstorming like that whole fucking time. But it was great though. Miami was cool. That was also when I announced that I had actually written the book already too. That was a great time. Miami was cool. And then that was the last time that I ever flew Spirit Airlines too, because oh my fuck, dude. I think it was that Sunday afternoon, and there was if you remember, there was a hurricane coming through. Man, I swear, bro. We flew back to Houston while the hurricane was coming up on our ass. So, I mean, turbulence, bro. I thought that plane was fall out of the sky, bro. I thought we were finna meet Jesus that day. Cause we would fly and then just sink. I'm like, bro, Jesus, take the wheel, take the plane. Almost didn't make it, you know what I mean? It's crazy. I'll never fly Spirit, and I am very reluctant to fly back to anywhere on the East Coast. Every time I visit the East Coast, there are always some weird shit. Florida's fucking weird. It's a cool weird though. New York, oh fuck New York. And then like Norfolk, Virginia, like military state, yeah, fuck that place too. Just the entire East Coast, just piss off. You know? It's pretty much how I feel about it. But thank you. You're awesome too, Franco. What's good, Mr. Lasco? And Andres, Stephanie. You sound based on liquidity taken out and the buys on liquidity too, with imbalance and mitigation. Happy you're still here, but gotta chill on the East Coast though. Hey man, it's just my opinions, that's all. That's all it is at the end of the day. It's just my opinion. If you want to go to the USA, where should I go? Well, not the East Coast. Okay. That's anywhere but there. Texas is cool. I've never been on the West Coast, so I can't say. I mean, I've met quite a few people from California. And I mean, if I had to put a list together of the top 10 worst fucking people I've ever met, I'd say at least 3 or 4 of them are from California. And the other 6 are from New York or or Virginia. So, but don't let me stop you. It's just my opinion. Don't let me stop you. But yeah, I've met some real pieces of shit, and that's where they're usually from. I mean, but every state, every country has their bad people, you know. It's cool. I'm sure I'm top 10 in some people's lives as well. But what are you gonna do? We all have lower lows here. So I'm thinking like maybe I want to see how we react from here. Like I said, I'm not longing that because of these lows here. I wouldn't want to do that, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we launched from here. We're just gonna watch for now, okay? What's your thoughts on the UK? Oh, I've never been to the UK. I know a lot of people from the UK that fucking run trading mentorships after they learn from me. I know that. I know the UK is full of fucking scammers. Not everybody. Please don't clip that and say, "Oh my God, John is fucking this and that." Okay, I just know. Okay, I just know there's a lot of scammers from the UK posting like demo accounts, pretending it's real. You know, learn from me and then go create a mentorship. A lot of that bullshit is from like UK. It's their accent too. Like I know. Brev. But it's all right. Look, I didn't try to start today coming out here and talking shit about everybody. I wasn't trying to do that. But you asked. Yeah, the World Cup. Yeah, we'll take a look at Euro as well. Because we'll probably pull up the dollar. 7 years of plans to move back. Years later, as a perspective has changed on things. Yeah, I don't want to go back there. But anyway, let's take a look at the dollar for today. There was a lot that I mentioned earlier this week. I mentioned this gap and this higher imbalance. And I think the one up here too. I mean, it's for me, it's like hard to say, you know, which one's going to be the one to trade based off of. So, but you can tell what price has done this week. Okay. What does the market do? It moves from what to what? Liquidity to liquidity, or, well, and or technically, what? Imbalance to imbalance. All of those turning points are imbalances. See? Well, I mean, that is a gap, but this is an imbalance and that's an imbalance as well. So that I would definitely study this week, or this weekend rather. What I would do if I were you is mark the gap, this imbalance, and then this lower imbalance. Oh, I did the wrong thing. And then go into small time frames and match what the dollar is doing with what currencies are doing. Okay, that's what I would do if I were to study this weekend. With the euro, I have no idea. We are coming off of the last couple weeks, at least. Was this? So perfect fill of this gap here. And on the daily, that's what that looks like. So we like hung out there and then we traded up, filled that in perfectly, and we've traded lower there. I mean, these lows down at the 108.30s, it's probably fairly clean. So if the dollar were to rally, if euro pushes lower, that could be on the table maybe for the next 2 weeks or so. I don't know. But on an intraday basis, I don't know. The only thing I saw earlier, and that I guess we could confirm it, is maybe these lows here at the 109.90s. Those lows right there. That to me is too clean. For British pound, it is hard to say. We rallied and then now we're creating like this big bull flag here. So that's a yikes and a half for me. But the highs are different. Because we set a high today during New York. The high on euro was at 9. So it wasn't the same high. So, I mean, if it wasn't a Friday, I would probably be a little bit more confident in saying that the 93 or like the 109.90 level could be probably on the table for the euro. If we look at a 15-minute, yesterday was pretty fucked. This. This is strictly hindsight, but you know where price is reacting from. If we look to the left, on again on a 15-minute, you do have an imbalance right there. So again, what does price trade to? Or yeah, liquidity to liquidity, right? And then imbalance to imbalance, or imbalance to liquidity. So that I could see. But I don't know. Again, Fridays are my worst days historically. But I guess if I had to pick a direction for the euro, it would probably be lower for these lows. Dollar doesn't even have the same highs, so maybe not. So there's my thoughts. All right, may not be what you wanted to hear, but that is what I'm going with. We just kind of closed right in that, huh? I don't think this is gonna rally from here. That doesn't look like a that doesn't look good. Are you expecting dollar a little bit more higher? Well, yeah, I just covered that. What was I looking for at silver? Nikki. Maybe if you were here on time. I want to see it trade higher. We don't have to. But what I was pointing out earlier was the mitigation model here. I had to stop the recording once we started, but I basically recorded entry. There was 2 entries from down here, and then the first exit was here, and I'm still holding the other one, which is why I don't want it to trade lower, because I want it to go higher, but it's fine. It's all gravy. This will probably come back and then just get me where the entry is at, and that's okay. It's fine. Oh, surgery yesterday, so you're a little out of it. That's fine. I don't know what the fuck is in the air right now. You guys have any more questions? Any more questions for today? What we're going to do is we're going to take probably a 5-minute break because I have to put the clothes from the washer into the dryer. And I'm on a time crunch today, so I definitely have to do that. Oh, S&P lower there. Oh, the Dow. Ass. Look at that. But you see how like reluctant it's not reluctant, but it's just like slower. You see how the lows here for the other indices has been traded to, but the Nasdaq is higher. So it's almost like a reluctancy to go lower, right? Because again, it's our strongest index, so it's not going to want to do that. And you know what? If anything, so what I was looking at here, and the reason I took that off is because I was saying, look how we closed. Like, look how we closed there. And that, to me, is like, it just closed right inside that imbalance. It's like, that's not showing a reaction. We looked at the 5-minute, and it's like, well, it's not really doing a whole lot. And I wouldn't want to long that. Right? So, literally, what did we discuss? We were saying, well, there's a gap up here. We don't want to long because why? We've got lows here. So if you tried to long, now it's run into your stop, right? And if we, I mean, at least on a 5-minute time frame, look at the order flow. It's bearish. There's only one up candle in this whole series right now. And that candle has been, we traded up into it and then it slammed lower immediately. So now it's running for those lows easily. I think this probably would have been an okay short, but to be fair, I probably would have expected this, because there's like a lack of wick right there, which I would figure that price would have traded into that, but it didn't. So I probably would have missed that either way, to be honest. So what we do have instead here, what we can do is we'll watch. This hasn't set up yet, but if that leaves it like that, there's a small imbalance here. It could just maybe trade into that and then dump. Mark the current range. What are we talking about? What current range? What asset and what time frame? We got to be specific. Better to miss one than lose one? Oh yeah, every time. Every time. This hasn't formed yet, so we're just gonna watch it for right now. So yeah, that 945 low, look at that. Easily met for the S&P already. And the Dow, we talked about like all this was just bullshit. I mean, look, yeah. Now look at it. The only low from this morning from our open was here. And I'm glad I got out of Dow. I mean, on an intraday basis, this isn't going to mean a lot, but getting out on the way up is nice because now look at it. And you know what I'm willing to bet too? I'm willing to bet. Now this a long time ago, you guys were definitely not there. I wasn't really teaching around this time, but this was a really strong binary option strategy I had. Is when price was above old highs like this, is basically like Thursday or Friday when we anticipated a down day, I would pick contracts that would expire at the end of the week or at the end of the day, and then I would wait for price to trade above it. See what I'm saying? Which was cool, because now it's like, all right, well, we trade higher. Now, sometimes I didn't used to just tailor my entries to imbalances, and that's why the entries didn't used to be all that great. Now, we're talking like 2015, 2016. So, you know, this is quite a bit of time ago. But I would just basically say, look, we're at 35,500. And I would say, okay, well, that's, you know, a 500 level. So if we get above that, I'll short for an expiry at the end of the day or at the end of the week. And so, I mean, sometimes, yeah, I'd take drawdown, but then like days like this, where it's like, oh, we're short and price is trading lower, it's like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? But now I prefer stock options because the Dow shorts yesterday on an intraday basis were up 1,000%. I didn't trade it. I was just watching it. I had added it to my watch list on Wednesday. Forgot about it. But what's interesting is that when you add it to your watch list, it also tells you like what the price was as if you had traded it. So it was, I think, DIA ETF short. And yeah, it went from like $25 to fucking 300 and some change. I was like, bro, that's, I mean, 10xing your money in one day is ridiculous. And binary options will never give you that. Oh, and you know what? That is another thing I forgot to mention to you. The ETFs. We all gapped up today. So this huge gap here. Dow Jones, huge gap there. Triple Q's, huge gap there as well. So yeah, I mean, I guess we're not going to get the highs that we outlined. I guess it's not going to happen. The Dow and the S&P are too weak. It's going to help probably drag down the Nasdaq, and that you can't really do anything about. So I guess we'll just have to watch this trade lower without us. And we'll cry. We'll cry ourselves and do a nap. And then enjoy the weekend. So what I'll do is I'll leave this screen up. But what I'm going to do is throw my clothes into the dryer. So I will be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere, but watch those lows. Oh, I'm back. I'm back. Wait. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Also, pay attention here. See that lack of wick right there? At 15,774. And a quarter. No, 1774. Oh, it does have a wick right there. Why does it have it on? All right, I'm not gonna fucking argue with it. Whatever. I thought that had a lack of wick right there. Oh, I guess that's why we always double check, right? Anyways, there's those lows being swept. The old sweep of the lows. The 835, which is our current morning low, there's that for the S&P. Dow, same thing. Nice run below that low. Anyway, we'll do the 15-minute one more time. Because we talked about, you know, how far can price go below lows? And I said, pay attention to here. So we'll see if that gets traded into. See if it can extend below that low. It doesn't have to, but I think that wouldn't be better if we did. I think it would be better if we did. The Nasdaq 5-minute chart. Which range are you referring to? This morning? Our opening price here? Because the liquidity resting here, based off of this low and this high, is definitely below 50%. And if you were to short this up candle, no, we didn't here. And I can tell you if I did, I would have missed it. But if we did, that up candle is definitely way above the 50%. So when we talk about premium and discount, okay, there's your levels. Now when I draw this shit out for you, it takes a while because this is what's actually happening behind the scenes. I'll take a black line and then I'll have to do the top right, which is a premium market, which is represented in red. Then I'll have to clone it, put it at the same spot. And then the bottom right, we'll have to do discount and make it blue because it looks better. What I also did was actually switch this to dashed. Like that. So again, that's from the session low up to our current high. And so there's your liquidity at discount. There's your up candle at premium. That's that. Just a logic. That's all it is. It's either the fib logic or the GAN logic. So when you filter setups, right, where do they form in a logical sense, right? Buy low, sell high. Okay, and this would be selling high and then covering low. And that's all it is. I mean, you don't have to draw all this shit out on your chart. You just take a GAN. You see halfway, all right, above it, premium, below it, discount. Now, if you want to get into more measurements, like the specifics, 618, 786 or whatever, like, all right, you can do what you want, but don't like get lost in the sauce. Don't get analysis paralysis. Shahan from Bangladesh, what up? What's Gucci gang? Equal lows is internal liquidity? Yes. Yes, it is. That is correct. Dude, did they rearrange the tools or am I just tired? Because I feel like something's not right over here. But anyway, low, high, and then yes, this would be internal range liquidity because it's within the range. The gap up here, like from this particular point, this gap up here would be external range because it's beyond our current day's range, like on an intraday basis. So yes, you would be correct. I too would like to be correct in seeing the market trade down to this gray box though. That's what I would want to see. So with today, what did I miss? I don't know. I guess maybe that. Which I wouldn't have shorted. The S&P, same thing. I wouldn't have shorted that. And if anything, I think it was the triple Qs that probably prevented me from shorting as well. Wait. Yes. NQ. There we go. Because that high we made here, there's nothing over there to the left on Nasdaq. So if anything, I was waiting for Thursday's high to be taken, which it never was today. And so that's another reason I went with the gap, because we wouldn't just stop at yesterday's high. Majority of the time, we would trade above and beyond that. And how far can price go beyond a high or beyond a low? An imbalance or a gap. And so that's why this is here. Okay, I just didn't have it there because I figured we would trade beyond that, but we did not do it. So we'll be here for probably like another 10 minutes, and then that's going to be a wrap today. Matter of fact, I don't even think my clothes are going to be dry by the time I need to leave here. So I'm about to be wearing some mixed match clothing. Maybe we'll have to see. I probably would not long this, bro. I probably would not. If anything, I mean, that could be a 1 hour imbalance, I guess, but it's almost 1 in the afternoon, which means there's only 2 hours left into today. And with that being said, you know, that's not enough time for me to believe that we would trade up to this gap today. Could we do it? We could. Am I going to put money behind that idea? No. No. There's a lot of great ideas. There's a lot of calls that I make that I don't take. Because not every trade setup or not every, you know, bias is worth putting money behind. So, like with this, I probably would have put money going short if I believed we made a high. But to me, when I was looking at this, it didn't make sense to me why this would be our high of the day. And it very well could be. But when we were looking at price in here and I was trying to determine, like, could we go higher? Yes. Could we go lower? Well, we could do that too. So when price does that, or when you can justify both sides, that's not something I want to put money behind. Now, silver, for example, that is something, yeah, and I'm probably break even on the other side. Probably. Silver is something that I could put actual money behind because I could justify only a one-sided market. Why would the market turn? This will be a quick lesson for you today, and then we'll shut it down. Why would the market turn here? Why would it turn on a dime right there and trade straight for these highs? Why would it do that? Well, I can't justify it going lower to take this low. I can't justify that. Well, why not? Because when you look at the previous price action, okay? When you look at this area up here, take a look at this price run. From this low, I mean, really up to this high, but okay, look at this blue shaded box here. This run higher. What has taken place? We left an imbalance here, and we have lows right here. Okay, so watch this. and I've said this time and time again, I'll say it again. You have some lows here. How far can price trade below lows? It can go all the way down to an imbalance, right? That's not new. We've been saying that for, I don't know, a couple years at this point. So you have levels here. Not equal lows, but close. We're just really zoomed in on the chart. Okay, lows, imbalance here, right? So what happens right there? Well, price stops right here, then it rallies, and then it drops down aggressively. Right below the lows, right into the imbalance, and then does what here? It has rallied and traded above this high, right? So that could be your break of structure. Then price happens to continue higher, doesn't make a new high. So now these highs are the inverse of these lows. Okay? Meaning now we have equal highs. So when the market trades down, what's it trading down into? An imbalance here, right? So what's the play? Why would price turn on a dime right here? Well, can I justify it going below this low? No, I can't. Reason number one, the most important reason in my opinion, is because liquidity has been swept already. It doesn't need to go down there again. Liquidity has been absorbed. I'm also not going to short because there's equal highs here. That's one of the rules that I gave you months ago in that video, the top 10 smart money trading rules. I'm not going to fucking short when there's equal highs. Not going to do it. So can we justify it going lower? No, we cannot. Can we justify it going higher? Yes, we can. So what do you think price is going to do? Run higher. As simple as that. Traded higher, consolidated it, traded higher one more time, and then just collapsed lower. That's cool. I'm pretty sure this got me break even here, but the first TP was, I think, on this candle right there. So that's what that looks like. But again, when I'm getting ready, like if I have a trading idea, okay, bullish, bearish, whatever, if I can justify both sides, like with what we did here, when price was here, could we justify going higher with the gap? Yes. Could it go lower with the 40 equal lows? Yes, it could do that too. So because it could go higher or lower, there's no trade for me to take. It's not high probability. Now, sure, you can come in here and go, oh, well, this up candle down to the lows. Like, oh, that's tradable. You're right. It is tradable. But if you're going to put money behind something, especially a decent amount of money, okay? I'm not talking like 5, 10, 50, $100, okay? We're talking like nice money here. Am I going to put, like, say, a fucking 2-week paycheck on a trade idea? Most people don't want to do that. Most people don't want to take, you know, a $500, $1,000, $2,000 risk on some bullshit like this. Would I put $1,000 on that trade going lower? No. No, I would not. Would I put 1,000 or more on this going higher? Yeah, I would. Because I'm telling you, man, if you ever take like a fat trade, bro, and I'm talking fat, okay, and you end up taking a loss or even like multiple losses, like you just get fucking burned, money just leaving your pocket. It hits differently, man. Some people quit trading because of that, because it hurts too much. It's psychologically damaging and financially damaging so much that they don't want to do it anymore. Okay. So if I am going to take those kinds of risks, okay, then it needs to be on something that is very, very one-sided. It needs to be rigged. It needs to be absolutely rigged. Okay? So that's your lesson for today. If you can justify both sides, that's a low probability trade. If you can only justify one side, that's a high probability trade. Now, since there's 2 hours left into today, I want you to, if you know what, we haven't done an alert in a couple days. Put an alert up here on the Nasdaq futures at 15,922.75. Put an alert there and just see if the Nasdaq today happens to trade into that gap. All right. And be able to study that. I guess price may not come down into that imbalance. So I guess I could probably be wrong on that. All right. Well, I'm not long or short, so there's no harm, no foul. But for studying purpose, because I'm going to leave here and, you know, go take care of stuff, have lunch and hang out. And it's pretty much shut your brain off Friday anyway. So I'm going to go do that. But for the sake of, you know, trying to see or study what the market does in the afternoon, I'm going to put an alert here in case that gets hit. Because there's a possibility that this could be on the table. All right. So with that being said, you've got an alert there. The lows have been swept. This actually may be a one-sided market because they all swept lows. The Nasdaq does have a gap, so maybe. Okay, but don't trade it. Don't put real money at risk here. All right. Friday's my, again, worst day typically on average. So there's that. Hamza, have a good one. Take care as well. And everyone else, same thing. All right. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed, man. Go watch the video. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. I forgot. I totally forgot the giveaway. I completely forgot. Go to the video. All right. The Quit Being a Slave video. Watch it and leave a comment. It doesn't matter what comment you leave. I'm going to take all the comments and that's going to be the list of that the winners are going to be pulled from next week. Okay, so I'm giving a copy away. Oh shit, I forgot it. I think it's a copy of Discipline is Destiny, Stillness is the Key, Meditations, a journal, and the Daily Stoic. I'm giving away 4 books and a journal on Monday. You don't have to be a member. It's open for the public. Okay, so send it to your friends. If they're, you know, if you think that they're a slave, okay, that sounds so fucking terrible, especially coming from a white person, but we're not going to get into it. Send this video to a friend, let them watch it, let them comment, and they can be, you know, taken into the drawing for these books and journal. All right. So stay blessed. I'll see you guys on Monday.